Alrighty, we are learning Pesachim Daf Kuf Yud Aleph Amid Beis. We got Mazikin, Ruach Ra, Shadim.
We're not finished with that yet.
No, not yet. Here we go. So top of the page. Hi, man. Kuf Yud Aleph Amid
You
Beis.
didn't finish Amid Aleph.
I did.
The last, you were up to the last.
I did.
You did it?
I'll do it again. We would see the Shalavana le'amr el b'ma'arava. In the shade of the moon, the issue is only if it's in the west. If the moon's in the west and you're standing by, and you're the west on the west of a fence, so you're getting the shadow coming in. That's an issue. If it's in the east, less than you got no issue. Okay. So we're talking about some issues with dekel, palm trees that were the stump of a palm tree. So someone's relieving himself on the stump of a palm tree, a dekel. The spirit of palga, which causes paralysis, will grab a hold of him. And if you rest your head on this palm tree, so then you'll have the spirit of half a headache, half a head aching. Haiman dem pas a adikla, someone who steps over a palm. No, yeah. So imikdol, if this palm tree, we can't really say, yeah, I guess a small one. Imikdol kotel, if the palm tree dies, you die. That person dies. Yeah, akar, if it gets uprooted, ma'akar, he will get uprooted, umis, and die. But hanimilu do manach kare ilave, that's only if he didn't step on it. Of a manach kare ilave, if he stepped on the palm tree as he walked over it, less lamba, then he doesn't have what to be concerned with.
What do you got against palm trees?
I don't know.
So why would we use Lashon Kotel and then the next thing Mayas?
Well, ma'akar doesn't necessarily mean to die. Kotel means to be killed. The person is, will be, what does it mean a person's uprooted? I'm not really sure what that meant.
Right.
The miss I got, the yakar, I didn't know what it meant. But that's the, okay. Okay. Amisha Tule Havi. There are 5 shadows that you want to stay away from. Tula the Dikla Yechida, the shade of a single palm tree. Tula de Canada, the shadow of a can tree. Tula de Parga, the shadow of a caper bush. Which one?
Tula de Isa, is that what you said?
No, Parcha, I said was a caper bush.
Tula de.
And Tula de Zardisa, what do you have? I had a sorb tree.
What?
Sorb, I mean sorb tree. It's like looks like an apple. Looks sort of like an apple. That's all I can tell you about. I looked at pictures of it. I did look it up. It looks like it sort of looks like an apple. Okay. That is Zardisa. So Ikda Amri, others say Aftul de Arba, don't want to hang around in the shade of a boat, Vitul de Arvisa, or in the shade of a willow tree. What do you got?
They don't like sun.
The shade don't like sun.
Yeah.
Or in the shadows. The Koldim also. The rule here is that Koldim Nefesh Anve, a tree that's got lots of branches, Kashi Tule, its shade is bad for you. Don't hang out in the shade because that's where the shadim are. Huh. All right. The kashe silve. Now, if the wood of the tree is hard, as opposed to wood being soft, I wasn't know what this meant either. But it's Aisha is it's hard. The wood is hard. Then kashi tule. Then the same issue that you want to stay away from the shadow of that type of a tree. Lebar mikrumasha. The krumasha tree is what is it? The krumasha, the EU. I'm sorry. The avagav, the kashi silave. Even though its wood is hard, like kashi tule, its shadow is not an issue. But I don't know what the krumasha is. So if you're looking to sit in the shadow of a tree, you want to look for the krumasha, but I don't know what it is.
They call it a service tree.
So that was a service tree. Was a service tree.
It just said the CDR tells you what it is.
Service?
Service tree. I thought the sorb tree comes. Sorb is the fruit of a service tree.
Oh, really?
That's what I found online.
There's such a tree. It's called a service tree. The sorb grows on the service tree.
Yeah,
The sorb is the name of the fruit, not the tree.
that's the zardasa. Yeah.
But we called it above. I thought they called it above the shadow of the
So the sorb was the zardasa. Here they're saying this is the zardasa also. I don't know. Okay, but let me tell you about this krumasha, because how do we know that this krumasha you can hang out? The shadim don't like this one. The Amra Lashida Libra, because there was a shade that told her son, Pirchi Nafshech Mikrumasha, run away from the Krumasha tree. The Ihu the Katal Avuch, because that tree killed your father. And you know what happened? The Katal Day, it ended up killing him too.
The tree or the shadim that are under the tree?
No, this was a shade telling them about the tree. So you want to stay away. They said, stay away from this tree. The tree, I don't know if it fell on the shade. I don't know what happened. I don't know the story. But they don't like the krumasha. Alrighty. Amar Rashi. Because now Rashi tells us practically what should you do about shade. So he said, I saw Rav Kahana, the parish Mikulatuli. He just stayed away from all shadows, shade of trees. He was machmir for all. We will stop for station identification. You are listening to the next set of Chris here. Okay. Says the one right there. Okay, first word line. Here we go. Now we'll get some names of shadim. Here we go. Bei Parchi Ruchi. The name of the shade that hangs out in the caper bush is called Ruchi. Ruchi. The Bei Zardisa, the name of the shade that hangs out in the service tree or the sorb tree, Sheda, is called Sheda. The Bei Igri, the name of the shade that hangs out on roofs, Rishbei, is called Rishbei. L'may nafkamina, who really cares? Answers the Gemara, L'kameya. If you're writing a kameya for somebody who is affected by a shade, so you have to know what the name of the shade is. So if you know what tree this guy was hanging around, so then you'll know how to write the kameya. The Bei Parche, now the shade called Ruchi that hangs out in the caper bush, Beria she'ein la'inayim. It is a beria that has no eyes. Okay, l'may nafkamina. Why does that help us? Says l'gzuzila. You can run away from it. It can't follow you. Zimnachada. It was a story. The hava ozl tzurma rabbanan la'afnuye l'bei parcha. So there was a tzurma rabbanan who was relieving himself by this caper bush. Shama the kaasi leve. He heard the shade coming near him. V'gazila. So he ran away. He ozla, as the shade followed him. He ended up hugging a tree. Tzavach dikla, the tree dried up. Upaka, and the shade burst.
As long as he fell, right? Not
Okay.
like our Elon, uprooted tree.
Where we got that? Paka.
Second white line.
Azla nafka adikla. It's different lashon.
Same one, right?
Yeah, different lashon though. Rashi has nafka. Rashbam has nafka adikla. We had chavke v'ladikla.
Maybe they come to again.
No, it's the same Gemara. He just had a different girsa. And he says, "Kishahocha acharav." When he followed him afterward, nitkala, he tripped v'nafla al ikar ilan, and he fell on the what's it called, not the maybe the stump, but yeah, because it sounds like there was a tree here, so it's more like the roots or something, I guess, of the tree. And then the tree dried up and he burst. Okay, so that's Rashbam's girsa, not that chavke that he hugged it, but rather that he fell over it. Okay. Says the Gemara. Okay, we skipped the next word, Parcha. We're up to the Beis Zardisa. So this service tree that has the sorbus fruits on it, Shidi. So we said that the name of it's the shady. All right, Ha Zardisa the Samchilamasa. Now, if you have one of these Zardisas that are close to the city, like Pachsa Mishitin Shady, there won't be less than 60 shadim on it, hanging around the Zardisa tree that's near the city. Lamai nafkamina.
Is Zardisa the paper bush?
No, Zardisa is the service tree or the sorb tree. Lamai nafkamina. Nachamo, like, who cares if there's 60 or 1? You got to know how many shadim you're writing a kameh 2 or 4. And here's a great story. Ahu bar kasha. So there was the shaiter of the ear, I guess he was the judge of a city of Masa. The Ozil Bekoi Gabi Zardisa. He was hanging out next to a Zardisa, the Havasamach Masa, which was next to the city. So Alu Bay Shitin Shidi. So 60 Shidin went to this guy, and I guess went up into him, Istakin, and he got into the Sakana. Also, so this shaiter, this Barkasha, came in back to the city, and he went to the Talmud Chacham, also Umir Rabbanan. The Yada, the Zardasa, the Shit and Shidi. He didn't know that a Zardasa had 60 shadim on it. So, Kasav like Kameya, Lachada Shadim. He wrote a Kameya for just one shade. Shtama, the shadim heard about this. Shtama, he heard, now this guy who was afflicted by these 60 shadim, the Taluchinga Begave, they were throwing a party in the tree. But Kamasharu, and they were singing. Hachi like this. Sudra Damar Kitzur Merabanan. The sudr, the turban that man was wearing, was that of a Talmud Chacham. But we checked him out. We checked him out, master. He doesn't even know what bracha to make on the sudr. So he's wearing a Talmud Chacham's hat, and he doesn't even know what bracha to make on that hat. You know, bracha make on a sudr. Oiter Yisrael b'Savara. So he's saying that he's wearing Talmud Chacham, he doesn't even, that's a Talmud Chacham. He doesn't even know that he never learned Pesachim Kuvira from Beis. He didn't know that there's 60 shadim in his house. He wrote a Kameya for 1. He knew how to read a Kameya though, but he only wrote it for 1. So they were having a party back in the tree. So also who Merabanan, a different Talmud Chacham came to Yada the Zardasa Shit and Shidi have. He knew that his Zardasa has 60 shadim. Kasav la Kameya, so he wrote a Kameya, the Shit and Shidi for 60 shadim. Shama, and this man then heard the Ka'amru, they were saying, Panu minayachum yacha, let's get our stuff out of here. They're running.
The Kameya works to scare them away.
I guess so. The Kameya works. So if you write if you're not to write a Kameya, so it takes care of the shadim. It scares them. I don't know what it does, but it gets rid of them. Okay. Now in Parshas Hazinu, it mentions a shade called Ketef Miriri. So the Gemara tells us Trey Katvi Havu. There are actually 2 shadim called Ketef. Chad Mekami Tiara, 1 in the morning. Chad Mibasa Tiara, and 1 in the afternoon. The Mekami Tiara, the 1 in the morning, Ketef Miriri Shmai, is called Ketef Miriri. Umechzi, and it appears Beikada de Kamcha, and it appears in the jug of Kutach. V'hodebe bachasha, and it spins around in there. Okay. The basa tiara, the one that comes in the afternoon, ketef yashut saharayim shmai. That's from Kapitel Tzadik Aleph 91. Ketef yashut saharayim shmai. Umechze, and it looks, or it appears, beikana deiza, in the horns of a goat. V'hodebe kanafya, and it spins around in there like a sifter. Okay, that's our 2 ketef shadim. Abaya have a shak of Azal. Abaya was walking. The Azal of Papa Yamine, Rav Papa was on his right. Rav Huna Brei Rav Yeshua, Mismali was on his left. Chazia lahu ketef meriri, the ka'asi lapei. the Smolei. He saw, Abaye saw that this Ketav Mariri shade was walking towards him on his left. So Hajila Rapapa Smolei, so he moved Rapapa on to his left side. Ravuna Brei Devishu Limine, he put Ravuna Brei Devishu on his right. Amalei Rapapa. No, Ma'ishnad Lechajli. What am I, chop liver? You don't care about me? You know what I mean? You're making me deal with the shade.
Maybe he had to come in on.
So he told Amalei, so Abaye said to Rav Papa, At Shaita Kayemet Lach. The hour is on your side. Rashi said, you're a wealthy person and you have good mazel. So we don't have to be concerned that you're going to be damaged by the shade. Okay. Now, the Gemara tells us, Mechad b'Tammuz, from Rosh Chodesh Tammuz, ad Shitzarbe, until the 16th. Until the 16th, Vadei Shchichi. These mazikin are very common. Mikan ve'ilach, from then and on, Savik Shchichi, Savik Loy Shchichi. Okay. Umishtakchi, and they can be found betuli dechatzba telechasav garmida, in the shadow of some grass that hasn't grown in Amma. Ubetuli did safra upanya, and the shadow of the morning of evening delehavu garmida. No, in the shadow of safra upanya.
It says in the shadows of the morning and evening.
Oh, it was right. The shadow is not an amma long. That's what it is. Lehavi garmida. If the shadow is not an amma long, that's where they hang out. The ikar betule the Beis HaKisei, and most primarily they're found in the shadows of the Beis HaKisei. Now, this is actually a medrash that is brought down as well, but it's got different dates, ones that we'd be more familiar with, and that's from Shiva Asr B'Tammuz until Tisha B'Av. And there it says that these shadim are Vadei Shchichi, and that's why it says you shouldn't hit your kids during the 3 weeks, and you shouldn't do all these things. During the 3 weeks, you got to be more careful because it's Hura Mazlei. It says this what our Gemara says from Rosh Chodesh till the 16th. There's a medrash that talks about from Shiva Asr B'Tammuz until Tisha B'Av, and I guess it's Cholikas or whatnot. But we're not like that Gemara, not like that medrash, not like this Gemara. I'm sorry? I don't know.
He said this is what down in Devarim and the Torah.
No, that's in Parshas Hazinu. The Ketav Meriri is in Hazinu. Yeah, it's got Teichach there too, but
they bring the pasuk. It sounds like a curse.
Yeah, in Hazinu you got some curses. It's not the fairest song. I mean, it's a song, but it's Teichacha. It's Machlai. Rashi has 2 gerses there. If the song is being said to Am Yisrael or to the Umas Ha'olam. Okay. All right. Let's hear from Rabbi Yosef. I'm Rabbi Yosef. Hani tlas mili yahiv arbuna linahira. 3 things that will bring darkness to light. So it's not good for your eyesight. It brings blindness to your eyes, to your light. Okay, what are these? Man desarig reishe yavish. Someone who combs dry hair. Alrighty. Uman deshasi tif. Someone who drinks from a dripping barrel. Uman desai misane. Someone who puts on his shoes the maisne kare while his feet are still wet. Whatever? You got dry feet. Some people hold if you put socks on, it's better. Some people hold it's just as it's here it says shoes. No, nothing's brought down on Allah. But I should say it's not brought down. Shulchan Aruch brings it down. Some of these, or Shulchan brings down some of these. Yeah. Okay. But some say you don't want to put doing socks on. I mean, it's just like terribly uncomfortable, and you get athletes with it. All right. Anyway, but here the Gemara says it's bad for your eyesight. What?
I do it every day.
How do you get it on?
The people banging it down the door to make me like, make room. Okay.
We'll talk about this later.
Kali bebeisei kashi lanise. Hanging food in the house is kashalaniya, brings poverty. Like people say, tola silta, if you hang the flour, tola mezayne, you're hanging your parnasa. This is only talking about bread. But fish and meat, you can hang. So you shouldn't hang up loaves of bread. Here, the issue of bezayin of eichel, it's a bezayin. Now, that's a normal way to do. You hang, they hang in the meat. You've seen like those meat freezers of the meat that hangs. I guess they're not poor, so I guess it's
banana hooks.
Well,
I
that's
just saw
interesting.
salami last night.
Banana hooks. That's a good one. Here, so it says I'll rift it. It's only for bread. It's only bread. Where would you hang bread? It talks about you doing l'tzarech mitzvah after you find hanging in a bag. Can you hang your bread in a bag? Can you hang your bread in a bag? Like after you bring up your challahs, so you want to hang them on the door hook or something like that. Hanging bread in a bag. I don't know. If it's a tzarech mitzvah, so they say it brings that. If you had your bread from Bedikas Chametz and you're tying it up and you're hanging it somewhere, so that you're doing to keep out of reach of certain fingers, so that would be okay if it's a tzarech mitzvah. Is mutter. What else was it mutter? As long as it's not a bezayin. If it's in the back, your kid's backpack, getting ready for lunch, that's also not an issue. That's not a problem. It's not a bezayin. It's just not. It's not derech bezayin. Apparently, like hanging your bread. I don't know how
slamming it onto a nail.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be a bezayin.
But it's in the bag. It's a shame. It's like it's not.
It's like being mishamish. I guess so. I guess if it's not derech bezayin,
It says,
it would be okay.
It says
It was in a basket.
Yeah, so you hang the basket on the hook. No, I mean,
No, that's an issue.
problematic.
Right, hanging in a basket. That's like a bag. That's our bags. We don't have baskets. So we don't want to hang bread. It's kosher laniyusa.
Pretty much the best is like a bag.
Okay. Hari bibesa. Kashi laniyusa. Hari bibesa. Not the cleaning lady, but it's bran. Morrison is bran. Hari bibesa kashi laniyusa. So you know bran? Come on, a lot of people. Bran?
Raisin bran?
Yeah, bran is it's part of the wheat. It's lots of fiber in bran. It's like what's that stuff called? That's the whole bran. What are those things called? The things you drink, to get you flowing. Metamucil. Is that all bran?
No,
it's something else. Oh yeah.
That's butter on Pesach.
Oh yeah.
It's a vegetable. It's not that.
Okay, fine. So that's but bran is part of the besa kashlan yusa. Nishur besa, crumbs. That means here crumbs less than the kazayas that are spread around your house. Kashlan yusa is also not good for it's kashlan yus. Belili shabbos belili revius, especially on a Friday night and on Wednesday nights. The sharu or Tuesday nights sharu mazikin ilavei. Because the mazikin are after them. So you want to make sure you sweep up and clean your table. There's an Indian graph, whoever says this, but people eat the crumbs of the challah. They can eat the crumbs after they cut up. It's kosher. What? Yeah, but there's a guy, I had a rebbe used to gather all the crumbs. The water challah is not just straw. It's like all the crumbs. So you gather them up and eat them.
That's doormat. That's not the extra.
Well, and here this is talking about really crumbs around the house. If you have the bread, well, I'll tell you again. You have a kazayas of crumbs. A kazayas of crumbs is you gotta be covered with. You can't just throw out. If you have little crumbs, mikra, then the crumbs are garbage. They're mutter, but it's kosher la'anias to keep them around. You should dispose of them properly. Okay. Asira. The Mezaini, Nukid Shmei, as Isra, I should say, Isra. The Malach appointed over your Mezainis, your food, or your Parnasa, Nukid Shmei, his name is Nuki, from the word Nuki, clean. He likes clean things. He likes things to be clean. So if your house is clean, then he hangs out in your house. That's good. Isra de Aniusa, the malach that's in charge of poverty, Navel Shmei. His name is Navel, which is like disgusting. So he likes filth. That's what he likes. So if your house is dirty, he'll hang out around you. So it's interesting. I don't know what brings what. But if you're clean, then I guess Aeneas will stay away. That's for sure. Okay. Saw apume de chatzba, a plate on the top of a jug, kashila neyusa. I guess you should be using a cover, not a plate as your cover. Alrighty.
It's interesting. People in this place covers wine.
A plate. What?
The wine cups. Understand? Using it regularly. They're sold with a plate.
Yeah.
People fill it up with wine. They cover it.
Oh, interesting.
See the cover.
Not that big
Before
either.
they make Kiddush. They
They
put
keep
a wine
it
cover.
That's
What
interesting.
was this? So yeah, Kube.
But this is a chatzba is a jug more than a cup.
Yeah.
So maybe that's okay. And it's different. It's made for them. That's what it's. I don't know. It's made for it. Not really. I mean, it fits like right on top of it. I don't know.
My wife often covers the soup pot with the plates. I don't know why.
To warm up
Instead
the
of the
plate.
top, the plates she puts on top. It fits perfectly. You know, maybe the actual pot top broke.
Not here. All righty. Tzarchim. Okay. Let's do one more here. Man de shasi maya. Somebody who drinks water off of the plate, out of a plate, kashi lebarkusoi, that brings some
I find
eye pain. Brings eye pain. All right, we might as well do the next couple here. Tachli, I'm sorry, the achel tachli, somebody who eats some type of a cabbage, mashi yade, doesn't wash his hands, mafchin plus inema. He should be nervous, or he will be nervous, and he won't know why for 30 days. Dimisukar, if someone did some bloodletting from his shoulders, mashi yade, and didn't wash his hands, mafchid, he'll be nervous, like got some anxiety, shiva yem for 7 days. The shakal mazia, someone got a haircut, and he didn't wash his hands. He'll be anxious for 3 days. The shakal tufre, someone who cut his nails, and didn't wash his hands. He'll be nervous for a day. And he won't know why he is nervous. Let's go back on all of them. We're talking about Nitil Shaddai. Yeah, 3 times. Yes, this is definitely appropriate for. I think this is. I don't see it here, but maybe it is. But that's a little olive there. Yeah, Chaim Simadalitz, if you test. What? Yeah, so there's the Mishabura, the Shacharach, I should say, has a whole list of things that you should wash your hands when you finish doing them. We don't bloodlet anymore, but definitely after you cut your fingernails and after you get a haircut, so we're definitely knowing to wash your hands like you would for Nagelwasser in the morning. They have washing cups at the barber, and after you wash your hands, after you cut your nails, they're also supposed to wash your hands. I don't know what the ladies do after they get their nails done. And I guess they gotta let them dry. Usually, then they wash their hands.
But that's for surgery. That'd be like a person loses blood during surgery. That'd be a matches down.
Don't know. I mean, there you gotta wait. You gotta have to wash Nagelwasser because you slept for a while.
Yeah, you're right. The patient. Even wakes up from that season, wash his hands.
Well, you wash anyway. Eventually, when you are you gonna? Why you gonna? There are a few reasons why you have to wash your hands. A, because if you had anesthesia, so you slept, all right, and they're not gonna let you leave till you use the restroom. So either way, you're gonna have to wash your hands. So you should be all right. All right, Rosh Hashem, we'll continue with this exciting Gemaras tomorrow.